For the next few days, The Athletic is just £1 per month for 6 months. See the link in the description to sign up now. When Manchester United lifted the Champions League in 2008, it was the third time in the club's history that they'd won the European Cup and their second under Sir Alex Ferguson. United would go on to lose 2 finals in the following 3 seasons to Barcelona, and Ferguson would clinch 3 further league titles. But the 2008 Champions League winning side was probably his last truly great team. Manchester United strode through European competition in 2007-8. They did not lose once, conceded only 5 goals en route to the final, and scored 19. The final, of course, finished 1-1 after extra time before Edwin van der Sar saved Nicolas Anelka's penalty to win the cup for United. Ferguson's side topped their group, featuring Roma, who they would meet again later in the competition, Sporting and Dinamo Kiev. The round of 16 saw a 2-1 aggregate win over Lyon before Roma were dispatched a second time 3-0 on aggregate in the quarters. That set up a semi-final clash with Barcelona, with Paul Scholes' goal settling the tie in the second leg. Chelsea, who'd seen off Liverpool in their own semi-final, then met United in Moscow, where Ferguson's side triumphed. But how did they get there so emphatically? Well, the 2007-8 Champions League campaign was a vindication of Ferguson as a tactical manager. He and Carlos Queiroz took Europe by storm that season, with a fluid setup that could build possession through the lines or counter-attack with ferocious pace. The team's foundation was the extraordinary back 5 of Edwin van der Sar, Wes Brown, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic and Patrice Evra. Now, this unit excelled, defending more narrowly than they did in the league to keep United more compact against better opposition. Brown's unusual height at right back, 6'1", gave United solidity in the air and against set pieces, while van der Sar allowed them to push higher, as did the pace and ball-carrying ability of Ferdinand. Both fullbacks could get forwards too, and while Evra was normally more aggressive, it would be Brown, turning back inside and onto his left foot, who curled in the cross for Ronaldo's headed goal in that final. The unit was brilliantly balanced. Vidic brought steel and aerial dominance, while Ferdinand was an elegant and skillful ball carrier who read the game better than any other English defender of that generation. And in goal, van der Sar was a genuine sweeper keeper who allowed United to build attacks from the back. Ahead of them, the midfield pivot of Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick screened and shuttled, with the ageing Scholes deeper than he had once been. Carrick was more a metronome, while Scholes could still carry the ball through midfield and hit his trademark long passes. Both possessed an eclectic range of passing though, with Scholes in particular dropping off to create a diamond with the centre-backs or even to Vidic's left-hand side to give United transition passing from deep. Now if this sounds modern, that's because it was. A number of the tactical facets of United in 2007-8 are commonplace now. And while both Scholes and Carrick could pass long to meet the runs of Ronaldo or Rooney, United would also happily play through the lines, with strikers dropping off or wide players tucking inside. For every defensive system, United had a passing solution in midfield, in part because Scholes had adapted to his deeper role so well. But it was ahead of this back 7 where United truly came alive. Ferguson and Queiroz created a flexible system that largely defended in a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1, with Carlos Tevez and Wayne Rooney alternating. Against Chelsea in the final, for example, it was mostly Tevez who hassled and harried Claude Makelele at the base of Chelsea's midfield. But this defensive shape exploded into a 4-5-1 or a 4-3-3 when United attacked at pace, with positional interchanges common between the front 3 of Tevez, Rooney and Ronaldo. Ferguson also used this front 4 to adapt to the opposition. His squad depth meant that he could field genuine wingers like Ryan Giggs or Nani, or more disciplined wide midfielders like Ji-Sung Park. Owen Hargreaves played on the right in the final, showing his positional versatility in a tucked-in tracking back role which perfectly suited his abilities. Hargreaves even pushed up into the box in a kind of centre-forward role, with Tevez dropping. This rotation of positions meant that United were impossible to mark man for man, a constant blur of movement and energy that caused defences no end of problems. Now this versatility in selection makes it hard to digest United's tactics into one simple set of principles. Sometimes Ronaldo would be up front alone, as he was against Roma, with Rooney almost a defensive winger on one side. It's worth noting here that this was when Ronaldo began his evolution into a genuine aerial presence. His ability to win the ball either as a sole striker or targeting a fullback from wide was key for United. But in the final, Ronaldo instead occupied a wide left position, targeting Michael Essien, who was playing at right back. Ronaldo would start very wide and then accelerate up the touchline, with Evra underlapping like an inverted fullback. Ronaldo would then either cross or dart back inside, with Evra effortlessly moving wider as the two switched. Now, this kind of movement from a fullback evokes the principles of positional play, and against Essien, it was remarkably effective. But all three forwards roamed, and Rooney's ability to hit long passes from deep was a huge weapon. Several times in the final, he foraged for the ball deep in the midfield third before lashing it forwards. The finest example, where he picks the ball up in the right back slot, glides past Carvalho and hits a long crossfield diagonal to Ronaldo, is counter-attacking at its finest. Ronaldo's cross was met by Tevez, who brought a fine stop from Petr Cech. Carrick's follow-up is then saved by Cech as well. But it's made by Rooney, scampering back to help his defence, securing the ball, and then having the vision and execution to turn defence into attack in seconds that really sums up this team. It was a team that won Ferguson his second European Cup, but it also showed how he could adapt. The trademark 4-4-2 with quick wingers and alternating strikers of 1999 was echoed in this side at times. But Ferguson was changing. The use of a more fluid front three, often without someone in the designated striking role, was modern and innovative. And it's one of the many things that made him great. An ability to move with or even anticipate the times and adjust his tactics and squads accordingly. It's a mega deal.
Welcome to the mega deal. The Athletics very own £1 per month deal.
That's right. If you're interested in the highest quality football journalism available in a completely personalised experience, you should join The Athletic, where journalists dedicated to every Premier League team bring you the coverage that you deserve.
Welcome to the mega deal. The Athletic's very own £1 per month deal.
It's hot daddy mega. It's £1 per week mega. It is really, really mega. This deal is very mega. It's mega.